spiders, especially for one this cute. While it might seem like another light novel isekai adaptation, at the very least it appears like we aren't going to have another adorable yet overpowered isekai on our hands. Our titular spider is gonna have to grind. Awakening in a cave and faced with a seemingly never-ending slew of monsters to contend with, survival of the fittest takes on a new form here. If you're an arachnophobe, you might want to leave the room now. Number 9. To Your Eternity. This is either going to be a tearjerker or an unexpected epic.
それははじめ9だった。
Then again, this is from the same person who gave us a silent voice, so maybe both? Descending to the earth as nothing more than an orb, an immortal creature named Fushi wanders alone, taking on many shapes and forms, including that of a wolf, paving the way for it to encounter a lone child.
観察することにした。
Thus, we have our bond, and if the animation is anything to go by, this looks like it might turn out to be rather magical.
不滅のあなたへ。
Number 8. The Promised Neverland Season 2.
鬼が支配するこの世界に希望はあるのか?
The original anime was a marvelous example of a modern fantasy thriller, excelling at weaving its tension as Emma and her fellow orphans attempted to escape their home before being sent to their deaths. Now free of the orphanage, they are faced with the terrifying unknown of the rest of the world.
ああ、自由ってなんて美しく過酷なんだろう。
We can't wait to see what awaits them, though we doubt they're going to be living easy now. What with now having to protect a whole herd of pre-adolescents out in the open, with their demon overseers waiting in the wings.
私たちは今生きて外にいる。でもこれでゴールじゃない。
Number 7. That Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime, Season 2. Let's be honest, nobody liked the last arc from the first season, but that's all over now. Rimuru is back, free of having to watch over those obnoxious kids, and free to get back to what he does best, tearing apart evildoers with his monstrously OP slime skills.
全ては俺の責任だ。
With a much darker tone following the destruction of his stronghold, we're hoping to see Rimuru and his crew go to war and devastate those looking for a fight.
どうするのが正解だった。
回答不能。
人間と関わったのが間違いだったのか。
At the very least, those new threads are on point.
始めるか。テレビアニメ続編2020年秋始動。
Number 6. Godzilla Singular Point. The King of Kaiju has had quite a, well, interesting career when it comes to animation, and while not many were left smitten by the Planet of the Monsters trilogy, this upcoming project might be a saving grace. With the backings of studio giants like Bones and Orange, the idea of two geniuses taking on the threat of Godzilla and his fellow monsters has the potential to be both quirky, yet give the atomic-breathing beast the respect he deserves. I mean, it can't get any worse than Matthew Broderick's version, surely. Number 5. My Hero Academia Season 5. Every safe overhaul has been left armless, and the concert is over. Now it's time for the heroes of tomorrow to continue their training and tackle whatever the League of Villains have planned for them next. But they've got classes to attend. We've got the long-awaited clash between classes as Deku and company take on Class 1B, and while we're hoping Monoma gets his face beaten in, the real draw here is setting what's happening with Deku's quirk and his connection to the previous One For All users.
ヒーローになるために。
Number 4. Dr. Stone Stone Wars. The dude created medicine and cell phones from scratch. You're damn right he can win a war.
科学王国の全員が
With the Kingdom of Science set to take on the might of the Tsukasa Empire, this sequel looks to take on the age-old concept of brains versus brawn to new animated heights. Tsukasa and his crew may hit hard, but we have no doubt that Senku and the rest will be able to science the hell out of any problem they come across. I mean, he created cola in a cola-less world. The man could do anything. Number 3, Eden Zero. We know what you're thinking. What are Natsu and Lucy doing in space? Well, turns out Hiromashima's take on the sci-fi genre has landed itself an adaptation. While we can certainly make jokes about how the character models are reminiscent of his past works, we're still eager to see if they can bring the same heart and fun that Fairy Tail had. At the very least, the fight should be flashy and fast-paced. Or was that the fan service? Hard to tell. All we know is that Ezra Scarlet apparently has a space pirate counterpart called Elsie Crimson. On the nose, don't you think, Mashima? Number 2, Bleach 1000 Year Blood War. Is it potentially overhyped? Could the infamous manga ending come to pass? Yes, and yet we can't help but be excited by this. We've got Ichigo and the rest of Soul Society taking on the Quincy threat in its full force, with the foundation set for some truly outstanding fight scenes if the arc is adapted to its completion.